is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. Hello, everyone. It's Tuesday, July 14th. I'm Tori here with Jeff. Hello.
Hi, Tori. We had some breaking news almost, but in fact, it turned out to be 5 months old.
Yeah, I thought I had some news for Jeff about sports, and it turned out to be old. Lindsay is joining us from home. Linz, how you doing?
I'm good, Tori. You've been striking out with the sports this week, man. Just calling the Washington team the wrong team.
The Cleveland team, it was bad.
Happening?
I'm like, don't they play with the sticks and the bases?
Lindsay, right before we went on, they're like 5, 4, and she goes, "Oh, Nick Foles signed with the Bears." I'm like, that was about 5 months ago. And then she's like, "Welcome to Daily Blast."
Always keeping you up to date is my pleasure. All right, we've been talking about this for the past few days, but more and more it seems like this. Let's be honest. We might be heading for another lockdown. So places like California, New Mexico, they've already headed back in that direction, shutting down restaurants and salons and more. Now we're looking at states like Texas, Arizona, Florida. They're still surging with coronavirus cases, and also more and more states in the Midwest. So I want to know how y'all feel about going back on lockdown. Does it feel like, oh, this is the right move, or does it feel like your morale is going to go down a little bit because of it? Because that's where I am. Jeff, how do you feel?
Well, I think I got a lot to say about this, because I understand the frustration of people wanting things to be back to normal and wanting to get, their jobs back and things like that. But the reality is we tried to at least the government gave everyone a chance to self-govern themselves. Obviously, that is not working. If we could go back to the beginning and really shut down hard when we first learned about this, and again, I'm not blaming anybody because it's a new disease, right? We don't know how to do this. But if we would have shut down hard, made mandatory masks through all 50 states, I don't know if we'd be in the position we are right now. So we're letting people do their thing. Obviously, they're not responding. Look at the beaches. Look at people around the country, what they're doing, over 4th of July. They're just not responding to what the government is telling them. I think, unfortunately, nobody wants to hear this, but we need to get more strict.
Yeah, I'm just really disappointed. 1 in 100 Americans, Lindsay, have tested positive for the coronavirus. And it seems like other countries have sort of gotten it, right? Like they've figured it out that a mask is necessary. And I feel like we're taking 2 steps giant backwards. Do you agree?
Right. And even in Florida, like 8,000 people were hospitalized on Monday, which is insane. It's just showing that the numbers are going up. And you would think that everybody around the country would have learned and looked at New York specifically in our country and said, we're not trying to be the next New York. Let's avoid this. But it just seems like people thought, summertime's here. We're canceling coronavirus. But as we see, we all might have been sad that we were missing summer, but it's looking like we're going to also be missing all our winter get-togethers. And I'm just hoping, I can get home for Christmas and those kind of things. Because I think without locking down again, this is just going to be this drawn out long thing, because we all know they said we're not going to get a vaccine until at least early 2021, which is just frustrating.
And we've seen it before. I just wanted to show you some pictures. This is from 1918, the Spanish flu. These are people in masks. There was a sign that went around that said, wear a mask or go to jail. That's from 1918. We've done this before. We can beat this. I have hope, but not if we keep repeating this pattern.
Right. And other countries are examples, Tori. I mean, look at Italy. They shut down hardcore.
Taiwan.
Yeah, there's examples all around the world, except we choose this whole thing.
It has to be stricter, in my opinion.
Yes,
but we want to know. We want to know what you think.
Ironically enough.
I know. That's true. All right, we got to move into this. A lot of you have been asking and tweeting me yesterday. We told you that a body had been found at the lake where Glee star Naya Rivera went missing. You've probably heard by now that crews did, in fact, recover Naya's body. Authorities say this gets me. She used her last bit of strength to get her son back in the boat before she went under. Heartbreaking. Check out these pictures. Those are Naya's former Glee castmates. They were all there at the lake yesterday holding hands. I mean, they've been through a lot. This is also the 7th anniversary of finding out Corey Monteith has died. Remember, he was on Glee. They've had a lot of tragedies here. I just want to show you a quick video that makes me think of happier times with Naya and her son that was on social media. Take a look. Jeff.
It's, there's not much to say about this. When I see that video, I get emotional. It's just, you feel for the young boy. I've been saying it all week. Obviously, I feel for her and her family, but, you have kids to move on. You don't feel so bad. If something happened to me, ironically enough, I have my 2 children that are going to live on for me, So it's all about the kids in my eyes. I feel for Naya. I don't think I'm being insensitive here, but when you see a video like that, it
breaks your heart.
Yeah.
And I just want to make it clear to everyone, there is no foul play according to authorities. And again, there was some talk and rumors of suicide. Again, no sign of suicide. What we're hearing from authorities is that she actually did put her last effort, however it was, we don't know yet, to save her son. Lindsay, do you have feelings on this after seeing that video, man? Wow.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. I know we were all trying to hold out hope that maybe they would find her alive. And, after 5 days and 6 days pass, then it kind of looks grim. But to watch that video, it just humanizes her, takes her out of the celebrity realm and makes her a person. I know I saw a picture yesterday of Jeff fishing with his son. And all those things just humanize people and just show you that people just want to spend time and find ways to bond with their kids. And so to see her now gone from this young kid's life is so sad.
And also when she sings, you hear her say, like, to the moon, and she has that vibrato. She was so talented. I mean, you hear everything in that video. Yeah, please write us in how you're feeling. Not easy. Moving on to this story, Jeff, we know you wanted to talk about this woman for a long time, and so do I. It's Ghislaine Maxwell, all right? Ghislaine is, of course, Epstein's Ghislaine, excuse me, it's very hard to pronounce her name, the Epstein entourage, as we've seen. She's due in court today, and authorities are detailing how far she went to hide herself, including wrapping her cell phone in tinfoil, even having former British military guard her house. She is the former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. She's now facing charges that she helped recruit, groom, and abuse young girls. Jeff, you're all over this. What's your take on this?
Well, I went down the rabbit hole on this Jeffrey Epstein case because, there's documentaries out on Netflix if you want to go watch it. Filthy Rich, it's called. It just came out. So we all know, I think, what happened with Epstein allegedly. He was in jail and he committed suicide.
What are those air quotes? I'm just kidding.
One of the most guarded jails in America, I think El Chapo is there because it's so secure. Now, all of a sudden, there was no guard looking after Jeffrey Epstein, and there were no cameras.
The cameras didn't work.
And just to go a little bit further, I could talk all day about this because I'm infatuated with it. But this girl, Ghislaine,
yeah.
No one can find her or pronounce her name, either one. But Ghislaine she was there side by side with Jeffrey Epstein throughout this whole thing. Jeffrey Epstein had this huge mansion. I believe it was like $70 million mansion in New York City, and every single room had a camera in there.
Including the bathrooms.
That recorded everything, okay? Talk about Big Brother. This recorded everything, which means he had some very big names, some celebrity friends, some royalty. I think you know where you're going. I'm just want to protect myself here. Some politicians, and it's all on tape, and I think Ghislaine holds the keys to all those answers. So if she rolls over, we might see some big names and powers shift throughout the world, not just the country, throughout the world.
Global community. We're talking about, we've talked about princes and royalty and politicians. I agree with Jeff. Lindsay, we want to know your take here. I think she's going to roll because she has the leverage. I think she's getting full immunity, and she is getting out of there and extradited somewhere after she names names. What do you think?
Listen, when I first started on this show, I remember when we talked about this story and Jeff was saying it was conspiracy that he died in the jail. And I was like, man, that could happen. Let's look into it more. But now I'm all on board with Jeff. Like, I've been watching these documentaries. It's crazy. She had offshore money in different accounts. Like you said, the aluminum foil wrapped cell phone. She was paying her guards out like millions of dollars to protect her in case of emergency. Like, what is she hiding? And also, who are the powerful people, like Jeff said, that she's protecting? And I don't know what length that they'll go to protect themselves. So I don't know that she's going to be so willing to speak up.
I think on both sides of the aisle, may I say as well. And we do want to say that as authorities were approaching her allegedly, she ran. So she tried to close the door and go into another room. So when they're talking about bail here, she's the definition of a flight risk. She has, I believe, 3 passports. She's from France, which you can get extradited from. She has like $4 million allegedly in a Swiss bank account.
Just the whole fact that he wasn't in jail years and years and years ago, okay? And that she wasn't, because she participated in those acts too, which is disgusting. I don't mean to draw light to this, that I'm obsessed with it. It's just that I'm obsessed with how the government handled this. And here's what I'm gonna say. I think she's taken into custody at this specific moment because of the upcoming election, I think this is going to somehow play a part. Now, I'm really going conspiracy theory here, but I believe the reason that she's caught right now is because the big names are going to come out. I mean, there is pictures with Trump. I'm not saying he did anything.
Pictures with
Clinton? There are things on the other side.
Picture with Clinton, too?
He did have a picture.
But Tori, how can we grant this woman immunity even if she does talk? Like, she coerced young girls or young kids into doing things. You know, she's clearly involved in this. She doesn't have like some stand by the side, innocent bystander. So I don't think America or anybody, the world would be okay with clearing her name just to give up other names.
Right, and allegedly she's done some horrific, heinous things. I do hope she sees some jail time, but remember, she has the leverage because she knows the names. She has the tapes. She has everything. So if you really want to get those guys at the top, that's who you got to work with. Ghislaine.
Well,
All right.
like I said, I think more
We got
to
her name
come.
down.
We got her name down, though. Lindsay, stick around. Coming up on DBL, Jeff catches up with Dirty Jobs host Mike Rowe. He's got a new feel-good show that's part reunion, part road trip. Plus, Tom Bergeron is out at Dancing with the Stars. Why did ABC get rid of their longtime host? And who could fill his shoes? And as we go to break, a reminder that DBL is doing our part to help stop the spread of coronavirus by working from home. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. A big surprise from the dance floor. Tom Bergeron and Erin Andrews are out as hosts of Dancing with the Stars. Now, Tom has hosted the show for 15 years. Erin has been there since 2014. ABC is apparently going in a, quote, new creative direction, which we will, of course, gossip about after. Tom tweeted that he was grateful for the lifelong friendships made on the show and added, quote, now what am I supposed to do with all of these glitter masks? I did want to let you guys know that, like, Erin Andrews found out about this from very sort of sharply. No one sort of had a talk with her about it. They were just let go. Why do you think they're going a new creative direction? What direction is that, Jeff?
Epstein, I blame him. No, just kidding. We're still talking about that. We talked about during the break. I don't know, Tori, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm confused about this one. I don't know if ABC is trying to go in a different direction to be more diverse. That was the first thing that popped in my head. Right? But then why would Erin Andrews go too? So I feel like it's got to be something, the host versus the network thing. Again, going down this conspiracy theory hole.
We're very
I'm still on that. So
right.
I don't know. Lindsay, do you have a better thought of why you think they would go
I
as
have a thought.
Yeah.
I think I know
So
what it is.
listen,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
About a year ago, they got a new executive producer, I believe.
Yep.
And so that executive producer said, we're going to keep this as like a friendly show on the same kind of path. He's just coming in, not trying to rock the boat too much. And then next thing you know, we see Sean Spicer on the show,
Yes.
which is like one time that we see somebody who's politically maybe divisive on a show that's supposed to be an entertainment mechanism, like a place where people can let go and retreat. And a lot of people were frustrated about that, including Tom, who spoke out about it, saying, you know, that's not what, he was kind of blindsided in the same way that Aaron Andrews is blindsided right now. And so I think with new management, you always have shakeups. And so I think that they are just casualties of some new leadership.
I 100% agree. It's when Tom Bergeron publicly said, we shouldn't make Dancing with the Stars political. I think the new executive producer, again, this is all speculation,
Right.
wants to go more political, more controversial, maybe skew a little younger, maybe have people of color. I think they want to go that route. But Tom Bergeron, let me just say, he is a wonderful host. He has been on there for 15 years. He did America's Funniest Home Videos. He's so likable. So I just want to say, we love you, Tom.
Yeah.
Live!
But when you guys watch these shows, do you want to see political people on them? Because I know that a lot of people watch like the shows that come on after 7 and in primetime that are not news shows for like escapism. So does it bother you guys?
Oddly enough, you would think I would say no. I like that Sean Spicer was on there. I think every good reality TV show, and that's what Dancing with the Stars is in a sense, needs a little bit of a villain, you know? So I thought he deserved the comeback. He made fun of himself on there. I thought it showed a different side of him. People already, what would you say? They're writing in. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that green
because I
outfit.
just
Okay,
picture them
for
eating
sure.
chicken bones
There's no
and watching
chicken
me,
bones.
and they're eating chicken
All right,
and putting their
coming up
greasy
on
fingers all over it.
DBL, Mike Rowe is going on a cross-country road trip, and get it, road trip, sharing American stories during the pandemic. The new twist on his iconic old show coming up next. They're always
Welcome back to DBL. He has worked 300 dirty jobs, and now Mike Rowe is hitting the road, revisiting some of them in his new show, Dirty Jobs.
road trip because of Mike Rowe.
If you have a good name, the show is
It's
going to be a
everything.
success. I spoke with him earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Not quite as exciting on a calm day.
How much excitement do you need, Johnny?
Mike Rowe, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily Blast Live. I'm a huge fan of everything you do, and I just want to jump right in. What has social isolation looked like for Mike Rowe? Have you tackled any dirty jobs of your own at home during this pandemic?
I got lucky, honestly, Jeff. I've been sitting here for the last 5 or 6 months working on the same projects. We just pivoted and figured out a way to do them from my office. Now, that didn't work with Dirty Jobs. What we did was scramble the troops, got the old band back together, put my old crew into an RV after we got tested, and then started driving up and down the coast, just basically to reunite and get out in the world. Along the way, we look back at our favorite moments from Dirty Jobs, which we share with the fans and the viewers, and then we check in with a few of the Dirty Jobbers we met along the way. Ultimately, part road trip, part reunion, part kick in the pants. It was great fun.
Road Trip is filmed all on the road, like you just said, ironically enough. What was the crossover like? Were you guys out with people, or was it just you guys in that tight little RV with your crew? How did that work out?
It was really just us, and every morning we'd get up, fire up the RV, and just get out on the road. I don't think any other TV crews are out doing this kind of thing, so we wanted to be responsible about it, but we also just really needed to get out of the house. It really was a reunion. With the TV business is like a band of brothers anyway.
I know the feeling of getting back with an old crew. I did a show actually called Around the World for Free 10 years ago. I filmed it, Mike, and I saw you at a hotel in Austin right before I kicked off my trip, and I ran up to you to get some advice, and the elevator's doors, they shut on me, and I never got a chance to talk to you. The trip went off great without it, but I know a lot of people would love advice from Mike Rowe, because everybody, I think, wants your job, Mike. What would you give to young kids wanting to get in this business to be like you?
And look, in general, I'm suspicious of cookie cutter advice. I don't really know, but I can tell you, for me, the key was not to be worried or afraid of being uncomfortable or looking foolish. I spent 20 years impersonating a host for a lot of networks, doing a lot of different shows, but I didn't really have any actual success until I let all of that go and stopped being a host and started being a guest. And that's what Dirty Jobs let me do. It let me be an apprentice over and over and over. For me, it was Groundhog's Day in a sewer for like 10 years. They evaluate you based on your willingness to try. Once I saw that clearly, my career took a very different turn. That's a long way of saying my advice is remember who you work for. It's almost never the person who signs the check. In our business, it's the person who watches you or listens to you.
Well, I think that's great advice, Mike. I mean, I really appreciate that. I'm sure people coming up would appreciate that. Best of luck to you out there in the future, and I hope I can follow in your footsteps one day, man. Thanks for being here on Daily Blast Live.
Jeff, next time you see me, go ahead and stick your hand between the elevator doors and push them open and ask me whatever you want. I'll answer you.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much for taking the time, man.
You got it. Be well.
You too. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you sleep in the same position every night? It actually can say a lot about your personality. We're chatting about it in today's Rise and Thrive, sponsored by SoClean. So the most common position is curling up like a baby. This gives you a sense of safety. Sleep experts say you're more likely to be sensitive, but present a tough exterior. Check out the log position, lying on your side with your arms at your sides. If this is you, you're probably easygoing, social, and more gullible. And finally, the tummy. If you sleep face down with your head turned to the side, grasping a pillow, you have a tendency to be brash and avoid extreme situations. When it comes to sleep, for more ways to rest easy, go to SoClean.com or call 1-800-562-3891.
That was a dramatic ending.
Yeah, it was da-dong. It was like Law and Order, the log, da-dong. How do you sleep?
I'm kind of all of them.
Yeah, I move.
I'm a roller.
Move. I'm on the side. I think I'm the brash person that doesn't like extreme situations. Lindsay,
you're right.
What about you, love?
I think I curl up into a ball, but according to Colin, I literally take up the entire bed and have full conversations with myself in my sleep. So who knows?
I like these studies that they're like, if you sleep with a pillow, you might have a sense of good schoolwork. What? Where did you go to school?
Very well said. Way to wrap that up. We'll see you
Who made
same
that
time,
up?
same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.